I'm now joined by Khalid Malik, who is the UN Resident Coordinator in China. That's a fascinating title. You'll have to explain your position to us, please.
Well, the UN system is a large system. We have something like 22 agencies based in Beijing. And my job, I suppose, is to be a cheerleader, to bring the system together and to, in a sense, make it work as one, with one voice, one effort to help China, and joint sense of purpose. And I also represent the UN Secretary General in China.
Environmentally speaking, what are your initiatives that you're currently working on in China?
Well, we have about, as I said, 22 agencies. About half of them are involved in almost all aspects of environmental work in China. We have about maybe a $500 million portfolio of various activities in China. We have a very core partnership with the Chinese government on climate change negotiations, capacity building. We have a lot of direct investments in protecting biodiversity. We have an interesting program on environmental awareness campaigns based on a very simple idea that citizens in the end are the best custodians of the environment. And if you empower them with information and knowledge about the environment, clean air, clean water, then they put pressure on officials and people like me to do a better job. So that's basically the purpose behind that.
President Hu Jintao spoke out at the UN summit in New York a couple of weeks ago with some very bold statements. Are you confident that they will follow through with hardcore proposals in Copenhagen?
I think what is amazing about China is once they reach an agreement and set targets, actually go about doing something about it. And that's quite reassuring, actually. I think President Hu Jintao made an enormously important statement in New York. They are also now beginning to look at carbon intensity targets, which is going to be an even broader way of looking at the whole issue of moving to a low carbon economy in society than, say, reducing energy consumption, as it were, or setting up energy conservation targets. So I think the question of Copenhagen is, of course, a more complicated one. It's not an issue of, as someone said, a G2 with China and the US, but it's a G192, 192 countries in the world are coming together to see if we can collectively move forward, and that is a challenge. I think there are all kinds of views as to whether we get a deal or not, but certainly from the United Nations perspective, the deal is necessary and we need to do it now. We cannot wait for it because the window for making those adjustments is narrowing. It's not a leisurely walk, as it were, into the future, but rather trying to understand that decisions now and action now is essential.
Wonderful. Well, Khalid, thank you so much for your time.
Great
We
pleasure.
appreciate your good work in China.
All right.